Yes, now, and welcome back to episode 166 of the Top Loaded Podcast. And I hope everyone out there is doing very well. Enjoying the last few weeks of your respective summers. Unless you're joining us from down under, then you're looking forward to your summer. But a massive thanks yet again to the guys over at Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loaded Podcast. Whether you need card stands, custom cards, let me restart that one. God, tell you, I've been out in the swing of things. If you need any card supplies, custom card stands, great preparation kits, whatever it may be, head over to their website, use the link in our bio, check their Instagram out, and check out their shop. And whilst there, use the code TTP10 at checkout to save 10% off your whole order. And like I say, there's a few different talking points this week. And my first one is probably one of the first times ever I'm going to not talk about football to begin with. Personally, I am a massive boxing fan. If I was to scoot my camera over either way, I've got a signed AJ glove there, signed Tyson Fury glove there. Will they ever fight? Who knows? But boxing chrome 2024, it might be cool, but 2025 it is now. And the cards are finally out. Obviously, we haven't seen too much of the set yet. It only officially released last Friday at £110. And obviously now the boxes are going in the area of 170 to 210 area, despite them being £250 in the Fnatic store. But I'm going to get into that in a minute. But actual cards, and I was always intrigued because there's always a boom. I know everyone listening to this will know that first week of any card set, no matter if it's football, cricket, golf, boxing, F1, Marvel, SpongeBob now, whatever it may be, always has a boost to begin with. And some of these boxing prices are absolutely crazy. And I'm going to just pull up a few examples here on my laptop as I'm talking to you, because I was running through it last night, late at night, as a lot of you in the hobby probably do, is do a little scroll through eBay and different bits. I just like seeing it to keep a gauge on the market as well. And some of it is crazy, the prices that it's going for. And I'm like, yes, it is early doors, so things are going higher. For example, Topps Chrome boxing Tyson Fury insert, $30. Mike Tyson insert, $15. Floyd Mayweather insert, $15. Mike Tyson to 150, $60. Let me pull out another good example here. To be fair, that's a really nice one. Let's go for this. Is a good example, I think, here. Tyson Fury to 75, $50. So that's not too bad in comparison to some of them what I've seen. Errol Spence Jr. Auto Gold 130. But in the UK, a lot of these base cards are going for quite a bit of money. And it reminds me of the good old days. Makes me sound old. I am, but it makes me sound old when I say the good old days of when base cards and refractors used to go for quite a bit of money. But it's great to see it. I'm really intrigued to see. It's a different clientele, I would say, boxing in comparison to some of the other sports. But I would say the boxing community is fanatical, if you pardon the pun, about boxing. And if some of these boxing fans get into cards, their market's going to be absolutely fantastic for them. So it's good to see. Personally, in the set, I've set my eyes on a nice Tyson Fury card to have in my case there. It's a green and gold gloves, what he used to wear. So I want to try and get a green to 99 and a gold to 50 to go in the case. And then Conor Ben would be my main PC. But it's really nice to see. But with anything, there's always something, a caveat. I don't want to sound like a broken record of every 2 weeks when I'm on the podcast, it's going after Fnatic's store. Because the people that I know at Topps are fantastic. Got a lot of time for them. Whereas Fnatic's at store, I've got personal grudges. And so one of my good friends won the EQL. I personally entered the EQL, so did a few other people I know. So £110 EQL, fair enough. Retail, lovely. If you're in a certain catchment area of the shop, you get a a boosted chance of winning or something along them lines. So we've all entered. One's won it. Due to commitments of himself, he couldn't make the store on a Friday or Saturday. He goes into the store on Sunday to pick up his box on EQL, which clearly stated £110. He goes in and they go, no, sorry, the price of the box is now £250. Now, it could have been just the person in the store that he was speaking to just didn't know about the EQL system and they thought it was just off the shelf. However, that is not right in my eyes. And I'm sure quite a few of you would probably agree as well. That how can you have it that if you win an EQL, which is a raffle system, to buy a box of cards, you don't get it for the price of what you're meant to get it to. You've got to pay whatever the price is in the store. Not right. Sorry. People might come back at me and say, Ronnie, what are you going on about? Stop talking a lot of crap, which I'd say, fair enough. I must have misread the situation. But if you win the EQL for a price of £110 and then you travel all the way to the store on Regent Street, it should be £110. But we know what their dynamic pricing system is like, but I'm not going to talk about that. I want to focus on the card set, which I really do like. Some of the parallels look absolutely fantastic. The autos are very clean. I was hoping for a few more on cards in it. Most of it is stickers. But I think this is like one of them sets, and I think it's going to be intriguing to follow the set in the long run because it's the first proper boxing set in, I think, about 90 years officially. So for people who don't understand boxing, how it works is a lot of the promotions. So you have promoters which have got boxers working with them. So theoretically, it's like football clubs. You have Matchroom, you have Top Rank, you have Boxer, you have so many. You have Queensbury Promotions, you have quite a few. So this set is only working with two of them. It's mainly Top Rank Boxing Chrome, but also it has some Matchroom. So Matchroom is the Hearn family, which is UK based. So you see some UK fighters. However, Top Rank is mainly their set. So I'm hoping in the long run they might get a few more promotions in there as well to see a lot more boxers from the UK, which would be fantastic. Obviously, one can presume that Sapphire will not be too far away. If they've done Chrome, Sapphire is normally 3 to 5 weeks behind it. So I'm quite intrigued to see Sapphire for the boxing as well, especially that Sapphire then brings some of the very cool card potentials as of Sapphire Selections is always a really nice one, and some unique inserts as well, which only feature in Sapphire. So I'm quite looking forward to that. That should be quite interesting when it does come out. But going back to Chrome, if you're not opening it now, it's going to be very hard to make your money back. It's obviously, I think you can compare it to like the soccer products of if you don't hit a top guy, you're not making your money back, or a low print card. A lot of the boxers, I'm not going to say I'm the biggest boxing fan the world has ever seen, but I do watch a lot of boxing, and some of them I've never heard of. But that doesn't mean that someone out there isn't trying to PC them. Obviously, it just means that I'm not PCing them, or I've not heard of them. So it's a tricky one. Obviously, if you hit a Fury, a Mayweather, a Tyson, a Lennox Lewis, people like that, you're going to make your money back to some degree. But I think it's a very good release. I think they've done quite well with it. It looks very good. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend you going to have a look. It's definitely a good set to check out, especially if you're a boxing fan as well. Hopefully your favourite boxing. One of my favourite ones, which is Conor Benn, is in it, so I'm quite happy. However, some of the other guys that I would have liked to collect is Ben Whittaker, for example, or my favourite boxer, Anthony Yard. Sadly, he's not in it, so I have to wait for next time on that one. But Boxing Chrome, good release, solid release. £110 was a good price point for a box with 2 autographs, but sadly, the store at Regent Street, £250, I would say stay clear. But then if there's the same thing with F1, £250 might be a good price. So obviously just keep that in mind as well. Moving on now to another release, and it's got a certain friend of the Top Loaded podcast very excited, is SpongeBob Chrome. obviously it's a bit different because I normally focus on sports, but I've got to talk about it. Obviously, SpongeBob, the lovable character that a lot of people had in their childhood. Pretty much every single person has heard of SpongeBob SquarePants, and he's getting his own Chrome set. And what is quite nice about this Chrome set is it's actually the voice actors who have signed the cards. None of this, personally, I don't agree with the fake autos of like Disney characters. I'd rather have the person who talked with them or just nothing at all. So it's good to see that that will start running. That start comes out very soon, I do believe. I think it was around £230 for a hobby box, and then they're going to be doing blasters, I believe, at about 30 quid. So that's going to be quite interesting to see when it comes out. I'm always quite intrigued. Obviously, it's not got the same market as Marvel, Disney, or anything like that, but it's going to be quite intriguing to see what the prices are like on the set. But for me personally, I'm not too keen. I'm not too bothered about it. However, if it was The Simpsons, could be a different story, or Family Guy, that could be really cool. But yes, keep an eye out for SpongeBob Chrome. That's on its horizons, if I can actually speak properly. And then moving on to another set that is out. Well, it's been delayed for about 2 months. The hobby boxes are not out yet, but the megas have started appearing in America, and I've been seeing it on Whatnot as well, which is Panini Prism Club World Cup. It's a bit of a mouthful, but get used to saying it. And Panini have got the issue of Topps. It's not just a Panini issue or a Topps issue of they don't have all the licensing. And when you're bringing out a product, and one of the best players to ever play football is involved in it, which is Lionel Messi, but you do not have the Inter Miami license, it leads to a horrible bright pink pajama card for Messi. And for me, I just don't like it. I don't like unlicensed stuff. For me, I have an example here to show you. It is one of my recent pickups, but I'm going to show you anyway. I got this. I was obviously lucky enough. I bought one card and I actually hit the top 5. But for me, that Michelle Adjiman would have been one of the best cards you'll ever get of hers if it was licensed. To me, it's still one of the best cards. It's a true rookie and it's a great card. But when you take away the badges, the sponsors, everything like that, it just takes so much away from the card. And if you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. The Messi cards are just horrible. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea fans will be happy with the Chelsea players in the set because that's all licensed. However, the unlicensed stuff is just not great. Don't look good. I personally will stay clear of Club World Cup. Obviously, there's no Arsenal, and especially no Arsenal women's in it, so it's not too bothered. But there is another big talking point from Panini Prism Club World Cup. And in one of the first breaks by a guy in Mexico, the first Kaboom was hit, which was a Boca Juniors Diego Maradona. However, I think I speak for every single person who's listened to this podcast. Any person who's in the hobby, one of the nicest things about Kabooms is the foil that they use. The explosion of like the Kaboom foil explosion is incredible. It looks fantastic. Excuse me. And when you look at Kabooms, you look at the sales sheet as well for this set. The sorry, my mind just got sidetracked. When you look at the actual sales sheet, the Kaboom looks as normal. Club World Cup logo on it. I think it's Cole Palmer. But the first one's come out and it's like a pure chrome background with no foil for it. Yes, this could just be a misprint. And when you're listening to this, it might have already been confirmed that it's a misprint or that is the new design. However, it is atrocious. I personally didn't think when they done the Kaboom right in a different colour was end of the world. But obviously it's still nicer when the whole background is a certain colour. But then you look at this Kaboom design, it is atrocious. It's awful. It's terrible. So I'm hoping that that's just a misprint for people who want to collect them cards. Otherwise, they're really buggered it up this time, and it just doesn't look good. I think as well, if you're looking at this Club World Cup set, there is a lot of players in this set that will make you hardly anything back. I'm talking, there'll probably be some goals. I wouldn't be surprised. People might say, no, don't agree. There'll be goals doing less than 40 quid. Because there's some of these players, I just don't see them having a market. It's one of them sets. It's like a club like an actual World Cup set of. There's always going to be certain players or certain teams that just don't have a market, and that's maybe because the hobby's still growing in them countries. The fans are not aware of the hobby existing, but at the moment, there's some teams that just don't sell well. It's like the Premier League. Some teams just don't sell as well, and that's what it's going to be. So the Club World Cup, I think it's too early to make a true opinion on at the moment. You're definitely going to have to wait for the hobby boxes to start emerging to actually see how nice they are. And I personally think that's one thing you're going to have to wait for in terms of, is it actually nice? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Etc. etc. But moving on now to another thing, what I think a lot of people have been really, really liking of late, which is top snouts. And I think they've done quite a good job with top snouts at the moment. Obviously, we've been seeing the Premier League ones come, and their print runs are starting to emerge now as well, which is rather intriguing. As of this coming out, you've got about 20 hours left to get the game week 3 Premier League ones, which see Dominic Szoboszlai free kick, Erling Haaland 100th Premier League appearance. I'm not sure how that qualifies for a card. Gruder for his winning goal against Man City. Then also Grealish and Isidore for Sunderland. Shout out was damn for that one. But top snails are great. There's also a messy one. Oh, he's retired again. I believe that when I see it. He's already retired once and come out of retirement. Two very cool ones, which I think, which are out in a moment, is as Carlos Alcaraz winning the US Open, which, if anyone watched that final, it's just incredible. And Arina Sabalenka as well, who won the women's side of it. Both have chances of autographs in there as well, which is really cool. For you WWE fans, there is a John Cena and AJ Lee top snails cards available. For UF1 guys, at the moment, there's currently a Oscar Piastri, Isaac Hadjar, Oliver Bierman, and then also some K-Leagues as well, I believe. J-League. J-League, you've got 3 of them as well. So there's quite a few. You have to really pay attention. And as of today, there is a Jofra Archer, Joe Root, and Jacob Bethel for England. What it should be for them cards, for anyone who follows England cricket, it should just be England win a game. Honestly, should be England win a game. So, I think top snails are really cool. They are, especially if you hit parallels, they are superb. I've bought a couple more parallels recently. I've, lucky enough, been doing quite well recently on the top snail parallels. But let me know out there, what is your favourite top snail in the last 12 months? Have you hit any parallels? Let me know what ones you've been chasing. And this is merging on, rather than talk about products the whole time, I've got a few guests lined up in the next couple of episodes, actually, which should be quite fun getting back into interviewing people. But there's a few talking points that I wanted to discuss, which I've been talking about a few people with, is A, buying and selling at the moment. And the second one, which I thought was quite an intriguing talking point, is grading. I know we talk about it quite a bit. However, for me, it was quite simple for me. If I do ever grade anything card related, it was PSA. If it was vintage sticker wise, it was SGC. And then that was it. SGC is pretty much non-existent anymore, sadly. PSA have taken over and pretty much just neglected that whole side of it. which is a shame because it was a fantastically run grading corporation, very efficient, very good. It went from 2 week turnaround to about 3 months turnaround. So that's out of the question for me now. I currently have a Beckett submission of tickets, which should be coming back quite soon, which actually be quite a nice reveal for everyone. But someone said to me the other day, and I said to him, that's going to make a great discussion point on the podcast. Why do you grade a PC card and not just leave it raw? And I think it honestly depends on who you talk to. I'm not the best person to talk about PC cards because a lot of mine are raw. I don't have many of them graded, but my higher end cards, I have graded. If you're wondering why I'm looking off to my left, I'm just looking at the cards that I've got slabbed up to my left. And the main reason for me is protection, because a lot of them I'm not selling no matter what. So a lot of them is down to protection side of things. Obviously makes it easier. It has UV protection. It's in the case, so it's easier for it not to get damaged. Generally, some cards, I'm going to use this for an example. I generally think look really nice in PSA slabs. So this obviously is the Stina Black Stenius red sapphire selections. And in the PSA slab, they just look great. But obviously that one as well is more a case of that is a fantastic card and it deserves to be in a slab. But a lot of the cards I have, I won't grade. Some of them's down to the sets. They won't do well in QC, like a lot of the paper sets. Whereas some of the other chromes and stuff, I just haven't got round to it. I'm in kind of, I've got like my ticket collection to the side of me. I've got 8 graded tickets now. I actually really like grading tickets. I think that's really fun. I think it's really cool. Really nice display pieces as well. So I would say to someone, and a lot of people might agree, a lot of people might disagree. Like, please let me know. If it's your PC, do whatever the hell you want to do with it. It's down to you. If you want it graded, grade it. If you want it raw, keep it raw. If you want it in a mag, put it in a mag. If you want it semi-rigid, put it in semi-rigid. If you want it top loader, put it in top loader. If it's your own collection, no one can tell you what to do with that collection. And that is my honest opinion and the truth that I will stick to whatever it is. It's your own collection, so just do whatever you want to do with it. Some people would have a go at me for some of the cards I haven't got graded. Likewise, some people wouldn't have graded some of the ones I've got graded. If you have a display case where you only have graded cards, get them graded. That's the one thing about the hobby, and I think what's brilliant about life in general. Some people, obviously, like I say, people won't agree with me, and that is fine if people don't want to agree with me. I'm not going to have any hard feelings. I love to have a discussion, but if someone is collecting what they want to collect, if someone wants to buy, sell, trade, grade, whatever it may be, let them just do the hobby their own way. I don't think there's anything worse than when someone's like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. Let people find out for themselves. Yes, you can give them advice, tips, and tricks. That's what the podcast was set up for originally. But the most important thing is, at the end of the day, just enjoy yourself. A lot of people, obviously a lot of people have this as their full-time occupation. For me, this is my escape from everything else. When I'm looking through my cards, when I'm talking at trade nights, card shows, whatever it may be, I am escaping my day-to-day working life, and I really enjoy cardboard and paper tickets and stuff like that. So while you're in this hobby, just do what you want to do. Enjoy yourself. Don't feel like you're obliged to do something in a certain way just because someone else has said it. There's nothing worse than that, in my personal opinion, and nothing will ever be as bad as that, in my personal opinion. Enjoy yourself. The hobby is a fantastic place. Get to know new people. Because if someone would have said to me 6-7 years ago when I was first starting that a lot of my closest friends in life would be through the podcast, I'd say, yeah, jog on, no chance. But hand on heart, I can honestly say the same thing of a lot of the people that I get on really, really well with now are through the hobby. And you learn a lot of things as well, whether it's going to America to the National, Ireland for the Dublin Card Show, down to Sandown for the London Card Show. The hobby is what is great about this pastime, and just have fun, enjoy yourself, collect what you want to collect, buy what you want to buy, and you'll enjoy yourself a lot more. I can guarantee you that. With 100% satisfaction, you will enjoy yourself a lot more. Moving on to some more news before I start going all philosophical, is the London Card Show has officially confirmed, as of today, via their social media channels, they have got a partnership with the Fanatics Collectible Store in London to hold monthly trade nights. These will commence at the end of September. I can't believe we're already at the end of September, near enough. Like middle of September already. Has that happened? Crazy. Great. Congratulations to Harry, Katie, and James and the whole team. Fantastic effort. And I'll be looking forward to it. So I've signed up for it on their website. If you go over to their Instagram, check the video out. It's a fantastic piece of content showing you what will be available. It's a special increase in buy percentage for the store, as well as a bar at the events. Store credit is available as well, giveaways, prizes, etc., etc. So head over to the London Card Show official Instagram page, and you will notice a link there to sign up on the website, or just head over to the London Card Show website. If you scroll down, you'll see the part of the website that will give you the function of signing up for their newsletter, and it will make sure you do it, and they notify you the week of the event. If you're lucky enough, you can sign up between 1 and 4 people. So enjoy, sign up for that one. I will hopefully be at the trade night if I'm not going to the Fabio Wardley Joseph Parker boxing fight at the O2 Arena. But I'm hoping to be at the trade night now. But last couple of things before we do wrap up episode 166. A massive thanks yet again to everyone who has nominated the podcast for Podcast of the Year. Just being nominated is an honour, and I'll say thank you very much for the continued support. Obviously, this is the third year of the awards. I was very happy to win the inaugural Podcast of the Year back in 2022, 2023. And like I say, the podcast scene is growing every year. Some of the guys are putting out some brilliant content. There's another few good podcasts getting set up as well. Like I say, it's been a bit of a building year, this one, just continuing on, but I'm trying to work on some things on the back end of bringing some really cool. I'm looking into bringing on a new co-host as well. Just nice to bounce back and forwards rather than having to listen to my voice for however long it is every week. Getting some new guests on, talking a bit more sports as well, but also just talking about people as well, which I want to get back to. And I think that's what made us the first ever podcast year. But like I say, a massive thanks for the nomination for the award again. Can't wait for it. Also, everyone enjoy the Sports Card Social this weekend, this Saturday in Milton Keynes. Sadly, Arsenal are playing at the same time of it, so I can't make it along. But I know it's a great show. I've had a lot of good fun there. Some really good people heading down to that one as well. So enjoy that show as well. I've got a couple of cards just to show off at the end of this episode, just to show you I am still buying cards, which is always the case, because I took a bit of a... I weren't going to bring the story out, but I'm just going to mention it briefly. Obviously, with a lot of us, we have a PO box in America. I bought a 1-of-1 from Panini EuroLeague basketball for Matthew Morgan, who's an American basketball player who played for London Lions, who I support. But it got delivered, which I thought was to the PO box. And then when I got it over 3 months after, it wasn't in there, but it was delivered to the wrong address. So I've pretty much lost $120 on that card, which is annoying. It's taken me a few weeks to get over it. It still annoys me a bit to this day. However, these things happen. I'm going to try and get the money back, but it doesn't look likely. However, I had this one come all the way from Australia. Here it is, a lovely orange Tops Now Stina Blackstenius. Shock. I bought a Stina Blackstenius card. Tops Now, which is a great one. I know I referenced it earlier, but I thought I'd just show it again. I was lucky enough to hit the to 5 Michelle Adjumang first ever card from Tops Now. And then also I picked up another couple. So obviously a lot of you out there don't really watch women's football, which is totally fine. But Leah Valti is leaving Arsenal. And my PC from this year's Women's Euro Merlin was to PC Leah Valti, Switzerland Euros. I went to Switzerland, brilliant country. So I picked up her image variation for about £4. And then a sneak peek of what's actually going to be on my next TikTok, which is my latest pickup from England Eternity, which is this absolutely stunning, artistic Loss of Vobermoy 1 of 1. And if anybody out there sees any 1 of 1 Arsenal players from the England set, please make sure you message me, especially if it's Beth Mead or Lotte Vobermoy. But even if it's Alessia Russo, Leah Williamson, I'm a buyer for the low end stuff from Eternity. Been really enjoying collecting that as well. But like I say, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. Stay tuned because within the next couple of episodes, I'm going to change it up slightly. Hopefully, get a recurring co-host. If not, a few people to join me a lot more often. But like I say, honestly, thank you ever so much for your support. No matter where you're listening in the world, we're looking over the demographic of our listeners and our friends who listen to the podcast, and we're listening to in Australia, Asia, South America, North America, Central America as well, as obviously Europe, Scandinavia, and then looking at more into Europe, Scandinavia, we have got quite a few people who listen, as well as some new countries which are appearing. And if someone listened this week in Barbados, so if you're listening to Barbados, I'm jealous. Thank you very much. But obviously, thank everyone for listening and joining in for the Top Load podcast number 166. A massive thanks yet again to the guys over at Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loaded podcast. Whether you need card supplies, custom card stands, grade preparation kits, or whatever hobby needs you require, head over to their website, check the link in our bio, head to their shop, use the code TTP10 at checkout to save 10% off your full order. So, everyone out there is buying, selling, trading, and all that good jazz. But most importantly, happy hobbying and good night.